Hey, what's up YouTube? Your boy Chris out on the Goldwing. In this video, I want to give you guys a quick look at my new 2021 Honda Goldwing DCT model. Some of you out there have never ridden the new Honda Goldwing, and some of you might be wondering about all of the buttons and all of the functions on the new Goldwing. So in this video, I just want to go over with you some of the basic functions and some of the basic buttons of the new 21 Honda Goldwing. This is the DCT model. How can you tell that it's the DCT model? If you look down to the left, or if you look down to the right of the engine, you have the dual clutch transmission badge. If you approach the bike on the left side, on the handlebars, if you notice, there is no clutch. So this is how you can tell that this is the DCT model. It comes in a manual with the clutch, and it also comes without the clutch on the DCT model. One of the first things that I want to show you about the new Honda Goldwing is the key fob. On the older Goldwings, you have to have a key to turn on the bike or to unlock the saddlebags, but with the new Goldwing, it has a key fob, and this is a proximity key fob, which means that if you forget to lock your saddlebags, or if you forget to lock your trunk, once you walk away with the key fob, the bike will automatically lock. So you do not want to store your key fob on the bike, just in case your battery run down, and then your key fob will be locked on the bike, and then you would have to go through an emergency procedure just to get the bike unlocked. And we'll be talking about that later in another video. But this bike has the key fob. So on the back of the key fob, you have a horn button, you have an off and on button, and a trunk button. So we're not going to get into the functions of the key fob, but just note that the key fob is a proximity key, and you have to be so close to the bike in order for the power of the Honda Goldwing to be accessed. Once you walk away, the Honda Goldwing is not going to work, and the saddlebags and trunk will be locked. So keep that in mind. So looking at this new Goldwing, to the left, this would be your handbrake. So if you was parked on the incline in neutral, you can put on the handbrake. Also coming down the left side of the bike, you have a helmet holder. I'll show you how to access the helmet holder. You have the heated seat for the passenger on the left. To open the saddlebags, you have a little button right here, a little push button. You press that button, that opens the saddlebag. Also in the saddlebag is a USB plug in case you have a MP3 player, you want to plug that in. To access the helmet holder, you have a little latch. You want to open that latch. The helmet holder comes out. You can stick it through your helmet, stick it back in, press the button, lock it back down. So to unlock, lock. And also let me show you how I shut my saddlebags. Now some people slam their saddlebags. I found that the best way to close the saddlebags is just push it in. You don't want to slam it because this is plastic. The saddlebag on the other side operates the exact same way. Little button on the right side that opens the saddlebag. To close it, just press it in. On the trunk, how do you open the trunk? Well, if you look at the very bottom of the trunk, there's a button. You want to press that button. It's sitting dead center. So the little button that's directly under the Honda sign opens up the trunk. To close the trunk, lower it down, press the center, and that closes the trunk. Now you're gonna get fingerprints on the trunk, but it's better to do it that way than to slam the trunk. Also, looking down the right side of the bike, you have passenger floorboards. This would be your rear brake, your foot peg for your right side, and also on the right side you have a little door here. This door allows you to access the fuel door. So how do you put fuel in it? You want to press this button that opens up this compartment. You hit this little button right here in the center. Once you push that button, it will open up the fuel tank. Now keep in mind that when you walk away from your Goldwing with your key fob, this door locks. Remember, the proximity key, once you walk away from the bike, it locks the compartments. So you do not want to store your key fob on the bike, because if your battery run down, then your key fob will be locked on the bike and you would have to perform emergency procedures just to get the bike unlocked, and we'll be talking about that in a later video. So to put gas in the bike, press the button, hit the little button in the center that opens up the compartment for your gas. This would be, and I'll give you guys a closer look at the buttons, but you have a shift button here on the front, you have a paddle shifter here on the front, and also the high beams here on the front. Now, sitting in the cockpit of the 2021 Honda Goldwing DCT model, you got a lot of buttons, you got a lot of things working here. So I'm gonna give you, it's a quick crash course on how this thing operates. In the center, you have the ignition switch. If you turn the ignition switch to the right, the bike is gonna be powered. You hit the red starter on button and it'll crank the Honda Goldwing. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate how to crank the Honda Goldwing. There's two ways you can do it. Now, with the bike off and you are in proximity with your key, turn on the ignition switch, click it one time to the right. All of a sudden, you're gonna see the dash light up. Okay, now press the red button one time and the bike will crank up. So it's just that simple. There's two ways you can shut it off. You can kill it with the battery switch off, or you can turn it to the left with the ignition switch. So it's two ways to turn the bike off. If you wanted to start the bike without turning the ignition switch, you can pull in on the front brake and hold down on the red battery switch and the bike will crank up. Okay, so as you can see, the bike cranked up with just by holding the brake and the off and on switch. I can also kill it here at the top. That's another way to kill the bike. So to crank it up, you can hold in the brake, hold the button. That will start the Goldwing as well. I can turn it off with the center ignition switch. Now, if I wanted to lock the handlebars, let's say I was getting off the bike and I wanted to actually lock the handlebars, I'm gonna cut off the ignition switch. As you can see, everything is shutting down. Now, I'm gonna take the handlebars, I wanna do a full lock. And now I'm gonna turn the key or the ignition switch one time to the left, and you're gonna hear a beep, and it's gonna lock the handlebars. So now the handlebar should be locked. If you hear 3 beeps, that means that the handlebars was not in a full lock when you turn the ignition switch. So to unlock the ignition switch, I just turn it one time, and now the handlebars is unlocked. To lock it, put it in a full lock, turn the ignition switch to the left. You hear the beep. Now the handlebars is locked. To unlock it, turn it one time to the right. Now the handlebars is unlocked. I want to show you some of the basic buttons And also another compartment here on the front of the Honda Goldwing. You have a button there for this compartment. In this compartment, you also have a USB for your phone. You can plug your phone in and access your Apple CarPlay. We'll be getting into that a little bit later, but this is where you actually plug in your phone, and you also can charge your phone from this USB plug in this compartment as well. In the center, you have a jog dial or a roller wheel. You can access the menu up, down, left, and right, and I'll be showing you here in just a second. You have the home button, you have a back button, select button, info, set. Here you have the heater grips. There's your audio button in case you want to access your MP3 player, your iPhone, or your different sources. To the right would be your seat heater. And also here in the middle would be your fog lights, your lower front fog lights. These two buttons here does not have anything on them at this time. Now, the center of the Goldwing becomes disabled when you are in motion, when you are riding, but it gives you the access on the left handlebars. So the same things that's on the center, you can access it on your left handlebars while you are moving. You cannot access this when you are moving in motion. You have to access it here on the left handlebars. Now, looking at some of the buttons on the left handlebars, you have a volume button for the radio or your audio. You have the windshield button. You have a push to talk button, home button, and this would be your menu for up, down. To select, you hit the center button, which is enter. There's your back button to go back. Here is your horn button. You want to blow the horn. This is your turn signals, left and right. And also here is your paddle shifter. This is for reverse on the paddle shifter, or downshifting during manual. And on the opposite side would be your forward paddle shifter. So this is forward and this is reverse. This button also works on the walking assist. If you put the bike in walking assist, this is your forward button. This would be your back button. Looking to the right of the handlebars, you have your battery switch, your battery kill, off, on. You have your neutral and your drive button. You have A and M for automatic and manual. If you want to put it in straight manual, you can press that button one time, or you can press it again for automatic. There is your emergency flashers. To the left would be your cruise control button, and this would be your resume and set button for your cruise. Also on the top of the right handlebar would be your mode button. This put the bike in different modes: rain, tour, econ, or sport mode. So now I'm gonna crank the Goldwing and just show you guys some of the buttons. I'm gonna turn it on one time. That puts it in a position to be started. I'm gonna turn it one more time to the right, and that's gonna put it in accessory so I don't run down a battery. So now I'm in accessory. This is your main center button. So if I hit the home button, that gives me the audio source. It gives me navigation, phone. Okay, there's the Apple CarPlay that kicked in. And I can access the apps by moving the jog dial here, or I can access it also on the left handlebars. So if I wanted to access those apps, I move the center jog dial, calendar, settings, Amazon Music. So you just access the apps that way. If I want to go to the home button, hit the home button. And now I can go into the audio settings. I'm not going to go into those settings. There's your back button, vehicle settings. There's also your back button. There's your back button, and you can also get into things like your suspension, the pre-trips, just a lot of things in the vehicle settings. We're not going to go over those settings. I'm gonna hit the back button. There's your audio source. You can go into that. There's your info button. That'll give you your fuel consumption, trip A, trip B, your fuel consumption on there. You can back out with the back button here. Also, I'm gonna start the bike and kind of show you guys some of the instrument lights. So to crank the bike, I'm gonna turn it one time. I'm gonna press the red battery switch, and now it actually cranks up. So to the left would be to access the left side. This would be the select button and your set button. So if I move the select button, it goes, you can see your trip A, trip B. There's your rear tire pressure. There's your fuel range. There's your front tire pressure, rear tire pressure, range. Hit the select again, take it up to the top. That's your cruise control speed, your air temperature. If I want to come down, hit the select button, and I can toggle between trip A, trip B, or the total mileage. Right now I have 652 miles on the new Goldwing. If I wanted to change the mode, here's neutral, there's drive. So right now I'm in neutral because you can see it on the screen. If I hit D, it automatically puts it in drive. The bike is ready to be driven. There's your automatic or manual. So when you press the button, that's an automatic, that's the manual. Also looking to the right shows you the suspension. Right now it's set for 1 passenger on the suspension. To the left of that would be the coolant temperature. Directly in the middle, you got 6 dashes. Directly in the middle is normal. The green light above that will be the fog lights. So to turn on the fog lights or off, you hit the center button. That turns the fog lights on and off. There's your ABS light, your hill assist. So if I wanted to put the Goldwing into another mode, I'll push this mode button here. And as I push it, I can toggle between sport, econ, rain, tour mode. And one thing I've learned that when you're riding, you can actually change modes while you're riding, but if it constantly flashes, you need to let off the throttle because the RPMs are too high, and it will not allow you to change to set the mode until you lower the RPMs. So right now I'm in tour mode, sport, econ, rain, tour. And every time you crank the bike, it defaults to tour mode. Also on the right side, you have the hazard lights. You have the cruise control on and off, resume, and you can set it. I wanted to show you guys the walking assist and the reverse of the new 21 Honda Goldwing. Now, to engage the reverse, you have to hold the front brake. You got to have the front brake, and when you have the front brake, you're going to press the button here on the bottom. You're going to press it in one time, and as you can see, just popped up on the dash, you get an icon of the bike. So now you can go forward or you can go reverse. So remember, you have the paddle shifter on the front and you have the reverse here on the left handlebar. So if I want to go forward without even holding the gas, I'm just going to press on the paddle shifter, and now the bike will ease forward. If you look on the dash, you're going to get an F for forward. So now the bike, this is the walking assist. So if you guys get into a situation to where you're not comfortable with the throttle, you can use the walking assist. To back up is the same way. You just hit the paddle shifter down button, and now the bike actually backs up. Okay. Now to disengage it, you're going to hold the front brake. You're going to press the lower button, and now that puts it back into neutral. So I'm going to demonstrate that one more time. If you want to use the walking assist or the reverse with the bike running, the bike is in neutral, you're going to hold the front brake. You're going to press the reverse button. You're going to get the icon on the screen, and now you can hit reverse, or you can hit the forward to go forward, and you get an F on the screen. So this is how you use the walking assist and the backup on the new 21 Honda Goldwing. If you guys have any questions, be sure to put it down in the comment section below. I hope I didn't leave anything out. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is your boy Chris, just giving you an overall view of the new 21 DCT Honda Goldwing. And I will talk to you guys later. See ya.